No, the internet was acting up. It says this device I purchased is quite useless. I don't know. It doesn't have good internet reception for some reason. You just went. I've tried it a few times. We just began sorry to go up. Then later it will reconnect. So I had to do a hotspot using my other phone. Um, but the reason why I would have preferred my Fi is so that I can always go offline when I'm doing this. There won't be any interruption in case calls comes in or stuff like that. Anyways, so let me go back to this. So if you want to join this live stream, just send me WhatsApp number indicating interest. I'll add you so I can talk. Um, so this is the one we changed the gearbox recently, and so as a plate that was leaking, or not necessarily leaking, but it was wet. So we had to now apply RTV silicone gasket maker on it, so that the oil stain will stop. So back to the ST. For me, so far, I've been enjoying the car after the rebuild. Yeah, very well. I have some things to say, but I'm considering to do probably write an article concerning my experience with this carburetor and what's it called? MIMSA 3235 MIMSA versus this 3434 Z1. So I'll probably do an article on that. Um, because I've been going back and forth. I kept going switching from one carburetor to the other. Almost every 2-3 days I will swap. Every 2-3 days I will swap. But I think I'll rather stay with this one for now. So I'll probably explain all that on the article. Now the fan. Now I swap the electric, the mechanical to electric fan. But this fan, as you can see, look at where it is. So it's not actually positioned on the engine. You know, look at the fan here. This is actually where the engine is. You can see the engine here, but half of it is more than half. It's faced on intake manifold carburetor, so it doesn't really push the breeze very well on the engine. So I'll see how to get a fan that can be able to get to this point without touching this. So that I'll be big enough to do the work. So um so that's some of the things. But trust me, I'm enjoying this kind. For the past 3 weeks or so, this is the car I've been driving only. Um, while I'm also trying to sort out few other things that like the you see how some electrical issues. I've sorted one out. The brake light issue. They they put a two brake light switch on the car. The previous one was okay, but I think there was a wiring issue on the brake light. So they now introduce the second one. These are then to solve the problem with the electric car that goes to the original headlight. No, the original brake light switch. So they introduce another one. That second one doesn't work well. Not the switch. Switch is not the problem, but they didn't position it well. So sometimes it stays on permanently, sometimes it works, depending on how the brake pedal goes down and up. So I've been able to sort that one out. Um, the only thing I'm missing is the tachometer. I'm missing tachometer in this car. The one here doesn't work well. The factory one. I really need it on this car. The one I ordered didn't work. So I've gone to AliExpress. Most of the ones they are same issue. People buy, they complain, they don't work. The only one that's from the look of things that work, they're mostly on Amazon. Like the brand, one of the good brand is Bosch. So, and to get it here in Nigeria or to my doorstep will cost me over 100,000, about 150,000 on average, including the shipping cost. So, the one I bought from AliExpress was approximately 20,000 naira or so, thousand, something like that. But it's a waste of money. So there's another one on AliExpress that cost 30 something thousand, but I don't think I want to bother anymore, considering that it might still not work. Then I'll be regretting if I've known of that. Plus, spend that money, almost how much more than triple amount of the one on the AliExpress. But we'll see. So, um, back on the policies. Remember, if you want to join, you can post it on the chat room. Then I'll send you a link so that you can join the talk, or send me a WhatsApp message. You can always find my phone number on the most of my videos. So you send me WhatsApp message. Don't call. Send me WhatsApp message. I'll send you the link. Then if you have any question or whatever I want to talk about, they will do it while um sharing information here. So I basically done. I think please, I think we may have to gauge this oil eventually, but maybe not now. Do you have a 1 liter container or something? So I want to know how many liters that came out because there was a leakage, so we had to do it. So how do I what do I so remember this is 406 with EW10J for engine and the manual transmission, which I converted from 5 speed to 6 speed. Um so okay, yeah. Do you have another one that you turn it into when you measure? That's your point. Okay. So as you can see, this is the gearbox. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then this is the reverse. Okay. So what's the advantage of converting 406 or any Peugeot car with this engine, converting it to 6 speed manual transmission? A huge advantage. Number one is the torque. The torque delivery, you'll be surprised that that it will be the same. You'll be wondering, is it even the same engine? It's way different from the 4 cylinder, which makes you wonder why Peugeot didn't put this gearbox from new, especially like in 407. Why didn't they put this gearbox new in 407 on this engine, 407 with this engine from new? But then, if they've done that, they won't be able to sell the 2.2. That's the 407 with EW12J4 engine. So it's fine. For me, it's a market strategy because it's not as if it has any significant effect on the engine in terms of adverse effect. No, instead it has a positive effect when you use this gearbox on this engine. With this gearbox on this engine, it makes you wonder if there's any need for you to even bother with 2.2 liter or EW12J4 engine. And trust me, that's how the experience is. Of course, there will be a difference, but um, it's just way better. So if you have a 406 with a 2.2 liter engine, that's EW12J4. If you can convert it to this gearbox, this 6 speed manual gearbox from 407 with same engine, you understand. But something I need to point out as well. 407, okay, no, it's not about 407. When you convert a car from one transmission to another, You convert a vehicle from 6-speed manual to 5-speed manual, from 5-speed manual to 6-speed manual, from automatic to manual transmission, and you are still using that same engine ECU for whatever gearbox you are swapping in or you are converting to. Your engine ECU will not work well for a while. What I mean not work well doesn't mean it will increase. The point is, you're not going to get the best performance that gearbox will offer at that time for the engine. The engine ECU will start to relearn because at that time the program has already adapted to the previous transmission. So it will take a while. You just keep trying to understand the new system introduced. So don't expect the car to be that fast at that time. If you put a gearbox that is supposed to make the car faster or quicker or consume less fuel, do not expect it to give you that change you are expecting. It is not going to happen for the first few kilometers. It may take over 1,000 kilometers before you start to experience that. The engine ECU is adaptive, so it takes a while. Sure, you can reset it after you done the conversion, but still, like I said, I'll tell you from from own personal experience, it takes a while for them to virtually all of a sudden you see the car behaving differently after weeks, not even days, after weeks of usage, or I would say kilometers covered. I'm supposed to use kilometer, but then, like I said, it takes a while. Both city drive, highway drive, you just be doing that. Sometimes I was like, I don't actually notice any difference. Why this car is a little bit dull? Why is the consumption even a little bit higher than I expected? I'm talking about fuel consumption. Why is this car not as quick as I was expecting, or even less, uh, not as fast as even the previous gearbox? You have be having those kind of thoughts based on what you're experiencing. Give it time, trust me, do not panic. Give it time. The ECU will take a while to eventually reset and they adapt to the new system introduced. And there's boom. One day you just be driving and you notice, man, there's a big improvement. This is not how it was before. So that's what you should know when you are doing this kind of conversion. The only time I will say, oh, immediately you do the conversion, you start experiencing what the transmission is meant to offer. Is, for example, you also use a manual transmission ECU in the conversion. Then yeah, automatically it will give you that. But if you're going to use a engine ECU that was already programmed to work with automatic transmission, and you do that conversion, trust me, it will take a while. Eventually, I don't, for me, I don't bother necessarily changing the ECU, even though you may have one or two things that won't work as expected when you use the transmission ECU to run the manual transmission. No, if you use trans program for transmission is automatic transmission. No, hold on, let me go back. When you use engine ECU that is programmed to work with automatic transmission, and when you do the conversion and put manual transmission, there are some things that won't work. One or two things. You can still make it work, but that will take some software change or editing and some modification on the wiring harnesses and the rest, which sometimes may not really. For example, your cruise control won't work unless you know how to start tweaking and doing so many things. Depending your reverse aid, that obstacle detecting sensors that are usually mounted here, those ones will no longer work. The only way to work is to now go to your BSI unit and start to the connection to that, which I don't like tampering. I mean, you can do without that thing. It's not a must. Or you install an aftermarket tool. So such things, yeah, you have that. So when you do that, give it time. Eventually, it takes some time to adapt. Or if you don't want to wait that long to enjoy uh, the performance you're expecting or the lower fuel consumption you're expecting, then you have to source for the manual transmission ECU. The manual ECU is meant to work with the manual transmission, especially that particular model of manual transmission. Because even if your car has a manual transmission ECU from new, and you upgrade from 5 speed to 6 speed, won't immediately give you that as you are using the car. It take a while before your engine will start reacting to that change, which is the 6 speed manual you upgraded the transmission to. So that's what I'm saying. Even this car, when we first did that 6 speed, 5 speed to 6 speed, it wasn't really as the performance wasn't as good as it is now. It was a little bit. It basically was behaving like the 5 speed we removed, because we first did it twice. We first put the 5 speed, we upgraded to EW12 5 speed, then for EW12 5 speed to 6 speed. So it was behaving like the 5 speed of EW10J4, which is BE4. But now, wow, it's fire. So this engine, honestly, if you have the means, I'll recommend you get a classic car. You know, it mustn't be a Peugeot one, but yeah, for me, I prefer Peugeot. I don't have interest in any other classic car. I don't care how powerful they are. Some people always, when you talk about classic car, they always think, oh, the most powerful one. No, it's not about anybody who into classic car. They don't really care much about power for such cars, because no matter how powerful they are, if you can't compare them to the modern cars with that's designed or produced for power or performance. So it's not really about that. But if you get one with that power, it's okay. But I mean, the driving experience, the way the car behaves, the sound. Now you can tell that I've removed the fan. So what mistake people always make is, oh, when you see remove that mechanical fan on this engine, yeah, you no longer get that aggressive sound. No, you are wrong. You are wrong. It won't be as harsh as the mechanical fan will give you, but the engine sound, that agricultural sound will always be there. So but at least what you now gain is it allows the engine to spin more freely on higher RPM. The only thing I would say still is this engine, they don't really produce much power on high RPM. What I mean high RPM, I'm talking about close to the red zone, like 6,000 RPM, 6 to 7,000 RPM. At that time, you are basically just burning off your fuel. They don't really produce much power uh, that high. So what you get more from the lower RPM of these engines. At least close to 5,000 RPM. That's where you get most of the power. Um, so which is why I enjoy this type of carburetor on this engine, because they actually give you that torque, horsepower, even at lower, not necessarily, yeah, at low RPM, it will be a little bit the same with the single barrel carburetor, but as it start climbing, the difference is there, especially when that second chamber opens up. The second chamber butterfly, man, you the difference, this the way the engine sounds, even this air filter assembly, it produces kind of different sound for the engine when you get to that second open chamber to open. Yeah, you know. Um, so that's the joy. And one of the good things of having this kind of car is this is a car you can drive till your last breath on this earth or physical life, because you don't just have to change engine. This idea of when you buy a modern car, any small thing, the engine is gone, you have to change it. No, not with this type of car. All you need is pull it apart, pieces it, you see everywhere, whatever that is bad there, you buy another one, new one, most available. Used ones are available, new ones are available. Crankshaft, pistons, sleeve, name it, rings, even camshaft, cylinder heads, everything can engine block, everything you can think of available new one. So that's what I'm saying. Unlike modern engines now, you can only get like pistons and rings, new one. Where will you get the reverse new? So that's good thing about this kind of engines. You can always rebuild them. Though in my own case, I wouldn't really recommend you wait till they get become that bad for you to rebuild, so it will reduce the cost of what you spend. Once you start showing you that sign of weakness, look for the fund, dismantle it, put it back together with good parts, and continue your this thing, and then try as much as possible not to weaken the engine line. You know, um, for example, I introduced thermostat here. So it will help to keep the temperature hot. Once you start your car and it starts warming up, it stays that way so that it doesn't drop when you are in motion. Because without thermostat and your fan is spinning constantly with that mechanical fan, you see your temperature gauge just keep going down, 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 down until almost close to zero sometimes. Then when you get to a stop, maybe traffic, you see it come up again. So um, this engine is meant to run hot. I don't know why Nigerians or Africans, I think I don't know why I won't really blame user because they introduced these mechanical fans from new when they were even new. But I bet they also had the thermostats from new, just that people removed them over here. They didn't know the importance. Um, I don't know what else to say here before I close this. Um, I don't know if there's any question you guys have that I can ask. Um, trying to see. Uh, thinking. Did I even put room for the chat? Okay, so I think that's it. Or something I wanted to talk about on this live chat aside what I've explained. Uh, but it's not even about no, not about this car. It's about some other car. Trying to find that. Trying to think of that. Okay, so see what will happen is I'm supposed to go somewhere now. So but let me know if you want to have have discussion with me live stream. Just send me a WhatsApp message on +234 8095721703. You know, maybe you're having issue with your car and you want to show me something. Using a video, live video. Fine, we'll go about it. So I'll prepare um message, the video, the live stream, send you a link, you join, then we'll talk it out. Um Something I've always wanted to do, but I've not had time. This headlights are something that's broken here, and I will have to go and change. There's no light. Let me see whether this thing will give me light here. Um, see this thing inside. Anyway, so those don't use 505, they may not understand. So there's something here that is supposed to pull this thing up. So I see that's why it's shaking. So it's broken. So as it is now, I will be forced to change this half of the headlight. I was already planning to do that before it broke. Um, was actually when they that they didn't do it well. When I actually asked them not to bother. I want to come and do it myself. But by the time I got there, they already done it. So I think it was at that point that they damaged it. They didn't know how to put it. And yeah, well, one of those things. And I actually took it. I recall when they were doing the work, I took it home and kept because I said I don't like leaving it there. When they are done, I'll come and mount it myself. But they were like, hey, so that they want to mount it, uh, so that if there's a problem, they can do the resetting. No, I've done the system. I'm not giving them to mount it because I was the one that even mounted it. When this car came, it came with those double ones, which I don't like anyway. So um, I have to get these single ones. Those double ones, I don't know. Maybe in future I might decide to. Well, not really. No, I don't fancy them. Those are the ones you find in 505 Evolution. The ST as well, 505 ST, 505 Evolution. They come with that two double one, but I don't like those ones. I don't like those ones. So um, okay, I think I'm going to end this live stream, and so that probably later in the day and evening I'll do another one. Um, so we change we didn't actually change the seal. It wasn't actually a seal. There's a kind of something that looks like aluminium where the seal is positioned. Uh, you check the okay. So I want to measure the quantity of this oil to know what came out from the gearbox. So I will know because it leaked out. So so at least you don't get 3 gallons though for uh no, I want to measure it first to know how many liters came out. So I said I want to measure and see what came out. I've already changed color. Anyway, this gallon is for okay, about 9,000. Okay, remember to measure it to 1 liter. The other one, yeah. The oil is as light as water. If it's water. Guys, if you know any means of getting this oil into Nigeria in large quantity, I'll be very much interested for that kind of this thing because it's more okay. Yeah, it's 1 liter. Yeah, 1 liter. Yeah, good. Supposed to be 2.6, but some are liters. So let's find out how many that still remaining. So 2.3 liters. Hmm. So what we have is 2.3 liters. So hmm, yeah, well, um, it's that's one thing about this ordering oil from outside the country. Once there's any small leakage, by the time you solve it or yeah, like because you did the work, did the test drive, it started raining during the test drive, like you guys could see in the video. Parked the vehicle because almost late, it was dark. So it was the next morning I came and checked and saw oil down. So it was one of the seal that was leaking, even though it was a new seal, put a new seal, it was leaking. change the seal, and so the leakage stopped. But obviously at that time, uh, it had already gone down. So, but I noticed the other side because the one that was leaking was the seal on this right side. So, but the other side, the seal was okay. But the surrounding, there was something that usually you put the seal inside. Then you bolt that in on the gearbox. So that thing was we didn't put RT. I just didn't want to initially, but I just have to. So I had to put RTV silicon gasket maker on it, so that you'll be able to see that place. But as it is now, the car may have to stay without oil in it till next 12 hours or so, so I can drive very well before it. So I've discussed with the owner of the car. So what I'm going to do is to go online and search for that sale. They are available in Nigeria. I'm not OEM. I'm talking of this aftermarket. See if I can get aftermarket online. Then order them or send him the link. He will make the order. Possibly I will order them too for my own personal cars, so that once I change, I know they will last much longer than the ordinary ones they sell here in Nigeria. So that is the situation. But at least it didn't leak that much. I still have half a liter, but no need to pour it. I don't think it's that bad. Yeah. So before we do anything, we need to be sure um, the leakage has stopped. I was thinking of pouring the 85W90 to confirm the leakage, but right now the gearbox have not been contaminated with any other oil. It's still this same oil that we poured back. That's new one that we poured. The one it came with was same gearbox oil, this same oil, 75W80, but what we now pour is fresh new one. So if you pour another one, it's going to contaminate. So even if you drain it, not everything will come out. So if you pour a new one, it's you have that contamination. So while we wait, we just wait. Since I went under the car myself and waited until um confirmed that there's no more leakage from the place he leaked before. So now that we apply the second one, I think we are good to go. So guys, so that's it. Um, calling it a day. Man, guys, go and get your classic car. I don't know how else to say this. Go and get yours. This car is prestigious. I mean, you have no idea the kind of respect being accorded to this vehicle. Wherever I go to, wherever I park, man. But other than that, because that one you consider it a validation, but if you're a man, you have that fulfilled or satisfied feelings driving this kind of car, because the experience is completely different. Of course, you guys know I have this one that even more powerful than this. But whenever I'm sitting in this, which is not even close in terms of performance of my own 406 V6 and the other cars, I mean, it's different. It's different. You know, if you're not a man, you won't understand. You just can't understand. So there are things I don't bother trying to explain to women, because biologically you are not meant to understand that. So why waste my time? It's only a man that can relate. But I also know not every man really care about some of these things. But the reason why I believe is when they sit inside it or sit behind the wheel and move, they might not really be so much interested, but man, they will have that uh, uh, biological connection. Because this kind of cars we actually designed back then for men. I mean, the way now mostly cars are now feminine in nature. There's no two ways about it. Anybody tell you otherwise is lying. Most powerful cars now are basically feminine cars. The only thing is they make them look a little bit muscular, but the way they sound, the way everything is so soft, and you can see when you see modern car, you see that the focus is to attract females to like the vehicle. Females, The market is not men. The only thing they just put power on it. The everything inside the car is for make female comfortable, not for men. So and we just have to. I mean, that's what we get. So we got to make the best out of them. So that's why most men, yeah, they go for the most powerful or the ones that sound more aggressive if they are not powerful. So just to have a touch. But these kinds of cars, like I said, unless you are still a boy, I don't expect you to understand. So no, these are men cars. It separates you from the rest. People always try to say, how can you be driving a car like this? Why bother trying to explain yourself? You know, it is what it is. So if you still can get yours 505, I know a lot of people like 504 more than 505. I get that. I used 504 before. So I'm not gonna say, oh, um, that it's absurd to prefer 504 over 505. If I have a means to have a 504, yeah, why not? I will. Which was it? I've been the target before I decided to go for this one, but I couldn't get the model I wanted. So decided to go for this, and I'm okay with this because I always tell people 505 is an improved 504. It's as simple as that. 504 and 505 are the same car. You can't talk about one without the other. Same engine, same transmission, same mechanic drivetrain, almost everything same. Same way, everything you can talk about 504 is 505. The only difference is the body, the electricals. Even the first one 505, yeah, that's when they started to, I won't say complex, but it started to change. But it's still 504 in a different body or in a better with a better systems. Like the carburetor in 505 is better than carburetor the 504 came with. The 505 we are produced with 5 speed, which is much better to me than the 4 speed in 504, which makes the engine to shout. It shouts like hell. Driving a 504, ah man, the sound, man, once you start getting to 100 kilometers per hour, you'll be, you'll be wondering, man, this car shout like hell, which makes it discourage it to actually speed with them. Unless you now decide to upgrade it to 5 speed with the recommend the I won't call it recommended drivetrain differential, but at least the one that will give you the performance of that 5 speed, which is the 937 or the 411 final drive ratio, which is this car is lacking yet because that's what it came with, but it failed. I couldn't get another one, so I put 3.8. So I'm already sourcing for three. In fact, I actually ordered 3.4.1 that night at 7. When it came, it wasn't a high grade one, so I rejected it. So they're taking it back. Hopefully, I get my refund back or send me a better one. Who knows? So that's all I think I have to say concerning this. So I'm going to hopefully do another video later in the day. And so if you have anything, see guys, if you have right now we are holiday, if you want us to talk, yeah, we'll do a live stream. Let's talk. Have anything you want to show me on your car? Fine, let's do that. All right. So, but just know that it's going to be published. Others will see that. What's wrong with that? I'm doing mine anyway. So yeah, to next video. Right. So like the video, subscribe to the channel, and see you in the next one.